Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Taurus in mid-April 2020. What's going on, Taurus? How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know why I'm doing that. Anyway, Taurus, I hope you're doing well. How's everything? Uh, Long time no see, friends. For those of you that are aware, I just did your birthday reading like 2 days ago. That's up on the channel. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out after you finish watching this video. But we're back again doing your mid-April reading. You know, that's kind of how it is around here at Empathic Fire Tarot or Empathic Fire. Empathic Fire Tarot is over at IG. Follow me there if you want to. I'll put a little thing down here at some point so you can see that. But anyway, yeah, so during your birthday season, you will see a lot of content from me. So you have your birthday message up. That's again in your playlist. It's recently uploaded to the channel, so you can go and find that if you choose to. You have now this mid-April reading. You have your April reading that's already up. You're going to have a May reading. You're going to have a live with me in the middle of May, and all the things that are pertinent to you during your birthday season. So all that is to say, happy birthday to you, Taurus, those who are celebrating here in April, and for those who are up in May. I hope you all have an amazing birthday. Hopefully you are able to celebrate, and if you're in some form or fashion, if you're still in quarantine, hit up that Zoom party, get on, Facebook Live, do what you got to do to make sure that you enjoy your day, okay? Those who are returning, you might notice something a little bit different here. There's no cards laid out on the table because I've asked my guides in my continued spiritual journey to, help me develop and shake things up a little bit here on the channel. So we're going to do something a little bit more, on the fly, a little more free form, flowing kind of reading that is very similar to how I do my personal reading. So if you've ever gotten a personal from me, you kind of know what this looks like. But for the majority of you, you probably haven't ordered a personal with me. So this is what you would kind of expect. But again, it still is a general reading, so please keep that in mind. Now, Taurus, I have shuffled off camera. We will lay your spread in just a moment. There is a timestamp in the description box, however, if you want to jump ahead. So feel free to use it if you want. Also down there's that link for joining me on Instagram. I'm going to put the icon up here, the little, what's it called, an overlay? A title? I forget what it's called. Anyway, it's right down there. You can see the name EmpathicFire Tarot over on Instagram if you want to follow me. I do daily oracle readings over there by pulling one card from one of my tarot or my oracle decks. And the information you need to get a personal is down there as well. I'm clarifying this with all signs, so don't take it personally. But if you're going to get a personal reading from me, please make sure that you are ready to pay for it. I've been approached a few times recently by people who are expressing interest in getting a reading, and they just seem resistant to or just never actually follow through with payment. So yeah, that's the capitalist world we live in, my friends. So if you're interested in working with me personally, that would be very cool. Please be prepared to pay for it. I don't know any other reader who offers personals all the time for free, maybe in a contest, maybe in a giveaway, something like that. But ultimately, if you're going to do this work with people one-on-one, you should be paid for it. We don't live in a barter system anymore, so until that comes online, I have no use for your goat, no use for your chickens. I have use for your US dollars. Okay. Anyway, let's get into it, Taurus. Let's get into it now. Let's see. I want to see messages and energies for Taurus in mid-April, please. Energies and messages for Taurus in mid-April. 2? Yeah, just 2. All right, let's go. Messages and energies for Taurus in mid-April. What do they need to know? What is most pertinent to their situations at this time? Show me or stop me. Messages and energies for Taurus, please. Oh, hello. Okay. Oh, you got 3. Boop, 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 boop. Hey now. Okay. Page of Coins, Ace of Wands, and the 4 of Wands. Again, Page of Coins. Hello. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Ace of Wands. Ay, Dios mío with the focus. Don't be like that. Oh, camera. This deck is difficult if I remember, because for some reason it doesn't like to focus on it too well. But anyway, Ace of Wands and the 4 of Wands. Oh, look, there it goes, 4 of Wands. All right, so interested in developing and creating new life for yourself, basically, is what I'm seeing here. This Page of Wands with that magnifying glass, looking at that bunny and looking at that coin on the ground. You're interested in making something fertile, making something robust and lucrative, or fruitful. Thank you. That is the word, fruitful. And I think it is in regards to something related to your home life or your stability or some type of harmonious relationships with other people, family, friends, lovers. It doesn't matter. Take your pick. But you're cautiously investing or very slowly investing. Thank you. Building over time with the Page of Wands, building over time to this very, again, lucrative or fruitful, fertile beginning with other people or new people. It's like, I feel like a whole revitalized energy. Like, it's not out here, but in totality, this is giving me the vibe of like Empress energy, which is one of your secondary, or it's a secondary major for you in the tarot, Taurus. But I'm getting like very motherly, Mother Earth, creating a new, like this over here with these two women in the vineyard, in the stomping on grapes. I'm getting like vegetable patches and like lots and lots of land to like grow crops on. I'm getting like really peaceful, earthy, healthy abundance, fed well, paid well, lots of fun and leisure when necessary. This is like, I'm trying to have it all, but the investment is either investment right now that you're able to put in, Taurus, or someone else is able to put in, is very small. It's steady. Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles is steady, is reliable, but slow and small. Okay. So if this is about getting a business off the ground, or if this is about restarting a business after quarantine is lifted wherever you are, and those strains and those stresses are released a little bit, this is slowly getting back on track. This is slowly inching towards, pardon me, this is slowly inching towards seeing possibly a bright idea on how to get back to or reinvent the Four of Wands is able to take shape. A slow development of a hugely creative idea. So if you have a small business, and I don't know what your small business is, and I don't know how you have been impacted economically during stay-home orders, but what I've seen on the news is a lot of people have lost tons of revenue, tons of income. However, particularly in the restaurant industry, you have restaurants now who have changed over their whole platform to purely takeout. You can get the same, mom and pop dinner that you know and love at your local restaurant, but it's for takeout only. So you come up, it could even be like, they've put in like a drive-up window or a drive-through window, something like that I saw in the news today. You've got these restaurants that are acting like markets where you can come into the restaurant, you come up to the counter and they've set out the ingredients that they would normally make their own dishes with, but you pay for it sort of a la carte or item by item to go home and cook the food yourself. I saw another thing, I think it was a restaurant in Texas, Butler, Texas, or was that the name of the place, the Butler or something like that? Anyway, it was a restaurant, but they turned themselves into a drive-in theater where they're still serving their customers meals and drinks or whatever, bringing it out to the car, but their excuse, quote unquote excuse, or their ability to operate during quarantine is that it's a drive-through or a drive-in. People come and they stay in their cars. There's social distancing in place. Your own, you know what I mean? So that's a creative idea that slowly or has a small income. I'm sure that income isn't as strong as it normally would be if their restaurant was open for business under normal circumstances, right? So it's like a slow influx of money or being able to gain revenue, but the creative idea of spinning that and thinking of something and turning it into something fruitful and profitable and stable, that's the point. So whether or not you are living that restaurateur life and you're a small business owner, or this is just a creative way, possibly if you're a teacher, getting your students through their coursework during social distancing, if this is just purely something personal and and anchored on self-development, whatever it is, Taurus, I feel you're being super smart about it, slow, and that's sort of your bag anyway. I mean, you're a fixed sign, so you might want it a little faster than a Capricorn or a Virgo might want it. However, you're in your lane and you're doing it so well. And I feel that that was kind of tonally, this feels very similar to how I felt doing your birthday reading. I feel as though you're on your game, you're minding your P's and Q's, you're using inspiration and creativity at your disposal. You're using it wisely. It like like implementing change and fresh ideas only if they show benefit, only if they show fruitfulness, or only if they're helpful towards other people. Because sometimes, as I was watching the news, sometimes people are doing this restaurant work and they're doing it to supply food pantries. You know what I mean? So whatever your motivation is, the outcome or the long term is to have something stable and fruitful that you can share with the people that you know and love. That's what that feels like. Pretty clear message. What else do we have for Taurus in mid-April? Please show me. I want to see more information, more messages for Taurus in mid-April. Whoa, something fell. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. I see. Whoop. Okay, that's one. More messages. Okay, there we go for Taurus. Oh my God, I just dropped it. And it might have turned around. I don't know if it was in the upright or if it was reversed. It came reversed. I don't know. Yeah, they want me to turn that. I think it had gone in the upright. And when it fell again to the floor, it twisted around. I think that's what happened. But anyway, so Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess. Pardon me. Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess. Wheel of Fortune, secondary major for Sagittarius, as well as the fixed sign. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Those signs could be at play or not at all. It doesn't really matter in a general. And the High Priestess, secondary major for Pisces. Some people say Cancer as well. Take your pick. If nobody, of those signs is in your life, don't worry about it. Wow. Your time is now. Taurus, your time is now. And if it's not now, get ready. It's coming. Like, I feel this Wheel of Fortune, like, this is like the golden version of like Vanna White or something in head to toe. This golden, luxurious looking woman and that very golden wheel. And it just feels really auspicious. It feels very, some of you might feel it's serendipity or a coincidence, but I feel as though more than anything, you're backed up by some cosmic oversight. We'll say it that way, whether it's a guide or angels to you, your higher self, your own personal Lord and Savior, whatever you believe in or don't believe in. This High Priestess is coming in and representing that, like I said, a cosmic overseer, somebody who has knowledge of your journey, has knowledge of what your struggles are, has knowledge of what you have been perplexed with, what you have been frustrated with, where your losses have been, where your gains have been, just like knows the book of your life. Yeah. And I feel these two come out together and they say, it's like the High Priestess is speaking through the Wheel of Fortune, because the High Priestess doesn't normally talk. What do I mean when I say it doesn't talk? And like, it's not in the business of giving up all the information. It's not in the business, even though the High Priestess as an entity knows everything, has access to all the knowledge that is beyond of this world and beyond, right? That information is not always disseminated. It's not always shared, but I feel it's being shared through this Wheel of Fortune. Your time is here. Your time is approaching. Your time is coming up, Taurus. And this is something that is guided to you because of the book of life, or your personal book of life, your personal journey, right? And I feel again, coming together with the 3 cards that we were talking about before, it feels like some of you might be a little gun shy. Some of you might be a little hesitant to move too fast, and that's fine. The pace is not really the issue. Truly, there really isn't much of a complication. There isn't much of an issue. I think maybe the issue might be some of you might be like, okay, thank you. You might be over analyzing. That's very typical of the earth signs. You might be analyzing too much. You might be questioning too much, or you might be still a little bit guarded or shy to take initial steps. So for a few of you, you kind of got to get yourself motivated. You kind of got to get yourself out there and ready to put in this work, or be ready to receive these gifts if it's about receiving something. And that's for a few of you. More than likely, Taurus, you're in a proactive space. You're in a proactive mindset. You're in a proactive element at this time. But a few of you are just a little shy to get it off the ground. You might not have, because pages can represent insecurity, or rather someone who isn't necessarily, quote unquote, professional or deemed to be knowledgeable, right? So you might be thinking, oh, who am I to suggest this? Or who am I to chase after such and such dreams? You're somebody whose time is now, based on what's down below there with the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess. And I think some of you are going to struggle because you might not have a clear sight or clear connection with the High Priestess energy. Again, skepticism could be your own downfall, or could be your downfall, and it might just come from you. It might not be other people telling you like, where do you get off? That's such a crazy idea. Nobody's going to buy that. Nobody's going to be interested in that. It could be you talking to yourself. So mind if you're your own self-critic. If it's outside people, tell them the STFU and get out of your face. Like, just simply move. Oh, you're a detractor from my success. You're a detractor from my great idea. Get out of the way. You're a hater and I got nothing to say to you, right? If it's yourself, it's a little harder to push yourself aside. So be a little more tender with yourself. But I get the sense in a few of your cases, there is, that did come up, but it was in a different context. But being criticized did come up in your birthday message. It was in a different context, but here it is again. I'm getting this invasion of other people coming in and saying shit, and it's just like, you got nothing to say here. Like, your input is invalid to me. Why are you even here to criticize me? I'm on my own path. I'm trying to do things my own way. I'm not, see, that also was there. I'm not asking you for help, even though I think in that reading, in your birthday reading, there was possibly help that was necessary. So I between that reading and this one, you might be able to weave where your story is at. However, I just get the sense of you're doubting yourself, or other people are doubting you. And regardless of what the source is of the doubt, it needs to be put on the shelf. Doubt is going to tank this. Doubt will totally tank this, and you don't need that. Okay, so what else do we have? Because these together, like, they were just like so sharp. Like, this is your time. You're doing well. Everything is going the way it's supposed to. Everything is going to, quote unquote, plan. Anything else? What are the final messages? Yours is going really quick. So what are the final messages for Taurus at this time in mid-April? Final messages for Taurus in mid-April. Please show me. Final messages for Taurus in mid-April. Please show me. Death. Ooh, in a side position. We might keep that. Final messages for Taurus. Final messages for Taurus in mid-April. Please show me. Ay, Dios mío. Final messages for Taurus in mid-April. Please show me. That came out in your birthday reading, and that's amazing that I can remember that. I've seen so many cards since then, but I know you had the Hangman in your birthday reading. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna let those rest where they landed, because that landed very beautifully. I usually stack cards like that, so that's cool. So the first one that came out was Death in the side position. Over these two very fortunate cards, these two together, I'm just like, yes. And again, it could be because the high priestess is a silent energy. Sometimes they're embodied, or the high priestess comes in the embodiment of a person in your life. So you might have an advisor, or you might have someone who you're looking for their feedback and they're not really giving you what you want. They're not really sharing their opinion and you might be seeking it. And because they haven't given you a clear cut opinion, you might be doubting yourself. That's a possibility for a few of you, but not for the vast majority of you, just for a few. Now, again, together, I think it's saying the time is now, Taurus. Hang in there, pursue your dreams, go forward with your creativity. But you had the Death card come out in the side position over it. Side position, for me, is showing what can and cannot, what could or could not be, right? So you could dead the situation, meaning you could let your dreams fall by the wayside. You could resist what the Death card normally wants of us when we encounter it in tarot, and that is to change. That is to transform. That is to make something that was sort of always a certain way be a different way, okay? Major Arcana for Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, but you don't have to be. Yeah, it's like it's 50-50. And again, I get this invasion of like, maybe you've been highly criticized for a good part of your life, or you've been highly criticized by a particular person or group of people, and it makes it hard for you to believe in yourself, or it makes it hard for you to believe that your life or your trajectory can be different than what it is, that you can take a certain new path with that Ace of Wands that puts you towards something that is stable and fruitful and luxurious and delightful, right? This Four of Wands is like amazing, and you can have that, but there's this hesitancy that is coming. It could be, again, coming from just someone on the outside of you. Regardless, the Death card in tarot says, listen, what is done, leave it behind and move through and move on to something better or something new or something different or whatever. There's a whole new chapter, a whole new book of life potentially for you. That could, the High Priestess I find to be a very enigmatic and interesting character in tarot, because there's this idea that she knows everything. Therefore, what choices do we have? What choices do we make? But it's kind of like you still have choice, because she's not going to tell you what's happening, or she's not going to tell you everything that you want to know. And part of her power is in her silence. And that can really scare a person, because if you're not initially met with praise or positive feedback, if you're presenting ideas or you're exploring your options on where to go next in your life, if you're getting pushback, or again, you're not being given the green light, or it doesn't seem as though, whatever, if there's a question mark, a lot of people view question marks and uncertainty as a no-go. Oh, that's a bad idea. I was stupid to think that in the first place. That type of energy, right? Versus, excuse me, not versus, but that's what this is. This is the question mark. And a lot of people, again, will view this and turn away from it, because it's not a clear-cut thing that says it's going to be a winner for me, that it's going to be successful, that I'm going to be happy, that I'm going to be stable and secure, and all that kind of stuff. Because I can't see it, I'm going to walk away from it. This is in a side position. You will choose what you want to do, Taurus, but I feel the majority of you, if you choose to go through the transformation, embrace change, embrace death, is what I normally say here on this channel. Embrace death. Death is this big unknown, right, that most of us conceive. It's a big unknown. A lot of us say, hey, this is what happens when we die. But truly, it's an unknown, right? That unknown factor puts fear into so many people about death, literal death, right? A lot of people are afraid of death because it's unknown. You don't know what's going to happen to you. A lot of people don't know, or a lot of people have their thoughts. And because they have that belief, they're, like, oh, I got to make sure I'm on my good I'm on my good shit, because I'm not trying to be, punished for eternity, right? Depending on what you believe in or don't believe in. But in tarot, death is about transformation. It is a natural thing to transform. At some point in your life, at some point in your trajectory here on earth, you change, you evolve, you become someone that you weren't before. You live experiences, you live in places, you eat food that you've never had before. All of that is transformative experiences. All of that is transformative behavior, right? If you really think about it, okay? So it's natural to embrace death. We do it all the time. But when we talk about change where we can't see what happens on the other side, it becomes like, oh no, I can't. Of course you can. You do it all the time. I hope you get what I'm saying. So the fear, the uncertainty, the possible anxiety or even criticism that you're being inundated with could mess this whole thing up for you. So be aware of that. See, hanging, or the hangman. Oh, I said that wrong the other day, a while ago. This is secondary major for Pisces. The primary secondary for the high priestess is Cancer. Some people say it's Pisces, but because it's ruled by the moon, it's more associated for me with Cancer. So anyway, this is secondary major for Pisces, so you could be dealing with a Pisces or not at all. It doesn't really matter. This is like that redo or that restart or that, stepping into new territory with that page of coins below, or behind it rather, that's possibly got a few of you hung up in your head. In your head, this feels like you're hung up in your head. I think spending too much time in analysis, because remember, this page is using that magnifying glass, so that's like analyzing a situation to death, analyzing a situation beyond recognition, right? Sometimes you just kind of have to bite the bullet, right? And, fixed sign energy and earth energy, that's you, Taurus, fixed earth, not super adventurous, or rather not risk-taking all the time. Fixed signs are very rigid. That's what we're known for. I'm a Leo. I'm a fellow fixed sign, so I get it. We're known to be rigid. We're known to like things the way that they are. And we hate when change happens and we didn't initiate the change. Or we hate when change happens, but then we're not sure how it's going to work out. It's like that risk, put that shit on a mutable sign. They love that shit. They're like, oh, risk. Ooh. And fixed signs are like, oh my God, risk. Oh no. So that's what I feel this is. I feel like there's a risk involved. You have to kind of pony up something, especially if this is like a business thing. You might have to take out a loan. You might have to put, money from your savings into another account and bite the bullet in terms of, taking a little bit of a dive with your cash in order to reinvent your business. That makes a lot of sense. That you would be scared to do that makes a lot of sense. But I think there's a tendency that you're over analyzing here. And when you get into the hangman position, kind of like what she's doing there, you kind of got to let it go. Now, she's not letting anything go, but I mean, what else is there to do? You have to accept that you don't know the outcome. You have a goal, you have a dream, you have a desired outcome, but you don't actually know if it's going to work. I'm telling you, it feels like the universe, God, your guides, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, is on your side. It feels very fruitful for the majority of you, if I'm honest. Now, I'm not saying you're going to, break the bank and become a millionaire overnight. And I'm not trying to say that all of your worldly issues or needs will be taken care of because all of a sudden you turned your diner into a drive-in. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're going to get something out of this that puts you where you want to be or puts you closer to where you want to be. But the hang up is the self-doubt. The hang up is the negative talk. The hang up is the criticism from other people. The hang up is, for some of you, not wanting to seem like you don't know what you're doing or you're taking too much. It's something about taking a risk and that being seen as laughable. You might have someone around you who thinks you're crazy for trying to do this. And they think, they might literally laugh in your bed. What you... Oh, Taurus, what are you talking about? That's crazy. Fuck that person. Tell them to go away. Okay? I mean, I hate to be so flip, or so dismissive, but that's what it feels like. They're not even here, by the way, that person. They're not even here, or those people. They have not shown up in your reading in these cards. And I don't think they showed up in the cards in your birthday message either, but their energy is around you. So remove that, push them aside, even if it's temporary or permanent, it doesn't matter. But you don't need all that. You don't need that flack. You need support. You need self-belief and confidence. It's here. I just think there are moments where you like, it's sort of like, watching someone go off of a high dive. Like they get up to the edge and then and they come back from the edge of the high dive. It's like that. You're like ready to jump off and make a big splash. And then it's like you get to the, okay. Make the dive. Take it. All right, let's get you an oracle card because your message is so clear that we don't need to beat it to death, because that's what Jay can do. She can talk forever and ever about the same damn thing. Anyway, let's get you an oracle card. Oracle card for Taurus, please. If you hear the tapping, it's my hands going over the decks because I let my guides choose the decks. If you didn't know, I have a very close relationship with them. Oracle card for Taurus, please. Ooh, postcard. Thank you. I like these. I don't have to read a book. The message is right on the card. Postcards from Spirit. Let's see what happens. Ooh, I'm so hungry. I'm about to go have dinner, y'all. Spaghetti. What are you having for dinner? Is it spaghetti too? No. All right. Message for Taurus, please. What is the message for Taurus for mid-April? Oracle message for Taurus for April. Mid-April, excuse me. Mid-April. That's good, they say. And some of you, randomly, they want me to say, this is a chance at love. Ace of Wands, Four of Wands, those are lovey cards. Page is a small offer or a small effort towards a small token or gesture. So some of you are afraid to pursue love, or you're nervous about pursuing a relationship. That's a late message. Very late. Anyway, oracle message for Taurus, please. Oracle message for Taurus, please. Mid-April 2020. Oracle message for Taurus. Are we picking? We might be picking. Oracle message for Taurus, please show me. Ow. Okay. They got a sense of humor. I mean, these cards have sharp edges anyway, but that was definitely a sign to stop. We have something dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. You are a manifesting master, and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life. Money, opportunities, love, kindness. So whatever you're asking guidance about, have faith and be open to the many ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So whenever you fall into insecurity, you will be shown an illusion, as if your fear were real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant. You are and always have been enough. And abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, you can and will create it. You are so on the right path now. Keep believing, then the seeing happens. Listen, girls and guys, I am so fired up for you. God dang. Listen, I'm going to show you this up close so you can go, because I was kind of too excited to, that might have been inappropriate how excited I was. But anyway, that is your message. That's your oracle message. There are some keywords there. You are manifesting master and you don't even know it. What was I talking about with that self-doubt? What was I talking about with those people who are hating on you and saying all the shit about your life, right? And all your creative ideas. Like, screw those people. They don't know what they're talking about. And then you're asking, have faith, be open to the ways in which you are experiencing prosperity. I'm telling you, it's happening. You don't even know it. And then this line of the universe is always reflecting back to you. I didn't mention it, but I know in this deck that this high priestess holds a mirror in her hand. Get into it, Taurus. That is your message for mid-April. Again, go check that birthday message because it's still very viable and very valid for this reading. Watch them put, sew it together, stitch it together, and take away what you will. But I'm telling you, you are on fire. In there, abundant. I think, I could be wrong. I might be remembering for someone else. So don't quote me on this because I did that reading like 2 or 3 days ago. But I think you pulled a card of abundance. I could be wrong though. In any case, in that reading and in this one, you're good. You're abundant. You just have to believe it. And you have to pursue it. And you have to follow through with your dreams. Follow through with your path. Follow through with what you know instinctually, intuitively. You know it. Don't doubt yourself. Okay, I'm going to go. Taurus, that is your reading for mid-April. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Please hit it up for me. You can leave a comment. Let me know how this resonated with you. If you like the new format of how I read, if you're familiar with my old work, please let me know if you like that. You can share the video. Let other people know how boss and baller you're about to be. Let them know. You can also subscribe to the channel if you want to. Lots of new people coming on board into the crew. I'm enjoying meeting new folks. I'm enjoying that number going up. It's not about the numbers, but it is pleasant to see that my work is resonating with people. So, Taurus, I'm going to be back very soon doing the May messages. And then after that, I'm going to go live for you guys. It will be on a Saturday. I haven't picked the date yet, but it's probably going to be in the middle of May. So make sure you're here. Open your calendars up. If we're still under quarantine, you ain't going nowhere anyway, right? But for that, I will be answering questions from Tauruses live on my channel just to celebrate you guys during your birthday season. So if you want to be into that, or you want to be, or if you want to be there for that, look out for the announcement on my community tab as well as on my Instagram. And again, the Instagram link is in the description box. Information on how to get a reading in the description box. And again, my friends, I thank you so much for watching. Happy birthday to you. Take care. Bye.